Warning: the following video contains foul language as well as offensive and bigoted ideas and concepts. This video is part of a series that is designed to expose and critique lies and harmful ideas in our society, and in particular, those that platform and echo and spread these lies. Neither the producers of this video nor the platform it is on endorse the views stated. This video is produced with reference to both fair commentary and fair use.
My next guest is coming up, and his name is Pat King. He's been on the show before, and I love Pat. Pat fights hard.
I have a record the size of my fucking arm. I am not a nice person. You have no idea what's coming. Rubber bullets and pepper spray or fuck all. Wait till the real bullets start flying.
And now they're going to shut down our favorite guys in the land, our truckers. They're the toughest. They're the strongest. They bring us our food. They're out there for hours and weeks on end, missing time with their family.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into this in detail in this short presentation. Suffice it to say, Laura Lynn became a chief propagandist for the trucker convoy. But keep in mind that the convoy represented a maximum of 10% of truckers in Canada. 90% of truckers are vaccinated. And despite what Laura Lynn and Pat are saying here, Trudeau placed no vaccine mandate on Canadian truckers at all. He in fact reaffirmed the right of all Canadians, vaxxed and unvaxxed, to cross into Canada. He just put short isolation and testing requirements on unvaxxed truckers when returning after being gone longer than 3 days. So Laura Lynn and Pat are lying. And here you can see the documentation from the Government of Canada's website. The idea that a vaccine mandate was put upon Canadian truckers is and always was a lie.
To make sure you got your tomatoes and to make sure that you got your meat. And now the government turns against them. Do you know what? They have ticked off every Canadian in this country.
Holy Laura, you're starting to sound like me. I love it. I love it. You're getting excited just like I do. Trudeau, someone's going to make you catch a bullet one day. To the rest of this government, someone's going to fucking do you in. You sons of bitches. And that's awesome. And you're
We're
right.
mad.
That's exactly what they did. Shut down Ottawa. You want to get to work? Good luck. Walk.
Guess what? We don't have anything else to do. We don't have jobs anymore.
Okay, so here Laura Lynn claims that we don't have jobs anymore, although this really doesn't apply to her because she's never had a real job in her life. But if we compare, say, the unemployment rate in 2011 under the Harper Conservative government, you will see that the unemployment rate was 7.51%. In 2021, under the Trudeau Liberals, who were affected by a pandemic that decimated economies around the world, the unemployment rate is not much worse. It's 7.72%.
We don't have jobs anymore.
Okay, let's be clear. Laura Lynn has never had a real job in her life. I'm not a big fan of the term, but she is the living embodiment of white privilege. And this pandemic has been a financial boon to her. It is unclear just how much she has made off of the convoy, but we know it's a lot of money. The more angry she is, the more she screams at the camera, the more money she gets. Because she is marketing angry Christians, most of whom have lost nothing, but believe Trudeau is the devil, even though Trudeau did not create the global pandemic. Most Canadians oppose the convoy and its aims. So here's a look at just some of the polls that were conducted. There have been multiple polls and they all pretty much say the same thing. So what do you think the protesters should do? So you can see there that 72% thought they should have gone home right away, and only 22% thought they should have stayed. The next question was, overall, have these protests made you any more likely to support or oppose any of the following? Wearing a mask or vaccine requirements, and you can see that the protests actually made people more likely to support mandates, not less likely. to the tune of 44% in both categories. And here, overall, given what you know about these protests, would you say you support or oppose the protesters' demand to end all pandemic restrictions? Only 22% support, 47% strongly oppose, 17% oppose, with about 1/3 of the population supporting them, which is a sizable number, and that's how they were able to get their crowds so large. But of course, we live in a democracy, and democracy determines how these questions should be settled. We had an election in Canada about 6 months ago, and the current government was put into power. It's a coalition government between the Liberals and the NDP. The Conservatives, of course, don't like that and want to do everything in their power to overturn that.
We don't have jobs anymore. We don't got anywhere better to be than right there where you are. Have y'all lost your ever-loving minds that you would tick off so many Canadians that we're now willing to sacrifice and drive in the snow across the entire country to give you a piece of our minds? Hey, get in your vehicle, beg, borrow, and steal all the money to help you get the gas. Let's go to Ottawa and give them something to think about with what they've done to us.
Oh, Laura, you're fired. I'm loving you right now. Woo! I realize that this shit is so far gone that the only way that, and I'm going to say it out loud, the only way that this is going to be solved is with bullets. And yeah, I said it. That's the only way something's going to happen. A massive revolution on a huge scale is the only way you'll ever make a difference on this. You've never seen you vote your way out of, vote your freedoms back. You've never been able to jab your way back. You guys are losing everything. And well, I choose not to lose everything. And if I'm deemed already a domestic terrorist in my own country, well, guess what? I'm going to denounce my own country.
I've been fired up. Pat, I'm so upset. I'm so upset. You know what, Pat?
And you should be.
Yes, it's the government. They've sold us out. It's our education establishment. It's our mainstream media. It's our medical establishment. They've sold us out. And you know who else has sold us out is the churches. The churches have sold us out. And now we are close to losing our country. What kind of, like, Jesus, he'd turn over the tables. Jesus would walk in and he'd be past turning over the tables. You know, he'd have some kind of, you know, laser thing and he'd just blow up your buildings. He'd be past turning over the tables. You know, he'd have some kind of, you know, laser thing and he'd just blow up your buildings.
Okay, so now we have Laura Lynn implying Jesus would essentially be a terrorist, blowing up churches because they worked with government and health professionals to help control the deadly virus that has killed 1 million people in the United States and Canada. Saving lives is evil and worth blowing up a church? What about Laura Lynn's behavior, which I will document soon, which has been to tell lies and spread disinformation and grotesque exaggerations over and over and over without end on her program? Is that Christian behavior? Leading American writer and intellectual Chris Hedges, who has a master's degree in divinity, once described the evangelical community in the United States as the American Taliban because he felt the leadership was violent at heart and dangerous. I did not believe him when I first heard him say that, but Laura Lynn is certainly playing right into that characterization. For Christians listening, is this rage and portrayal of other Christians as selling their souls simply because they listened to health professionals and scientists and wanted to help protect the community by acknowledging scientists know more than them, and with so many dead it was important to trust them? Was this, as Laura Lynn suggests here, some sort of horrendous crime against God, worthy of having your church blown up, and those that go along with it damned to hell for all of eternity? And what of portraying your Lord and Savior, Jesus, the Prince of Peace, who commanded his followers to love their neighbors, as an angry terrorist blowing up churches because pastors wanted to help save lives? Is this Christian behavior?
What kind of, like, Jesus, he'd turn over the tables. Jesus would walk in and he'd be past turning over the tables. You know, he'd have some kind of, you know, laser thing and he'd just blow up your buildings because you have sold your souls against the people of Canada. I think they've accepted bribes. I believe that the churches have accepted money for this. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know they did.
Let me tell you something. We have a Bill of Rights and we have a Charter of Rights, and they've become virtually meaningless because of our establishment, because of our churches, because of our medical tyrannical nut jobs who've received money instead of standing up for our country. And I was reading the Canadian Bill of Rights. Let me tell you something. This is super cool. I got to get my glasses on because I'm so fired up I can't even see straight. Okay, so it says, the Parliament of Canada affirming that the Canadian nation is founded upon principles that acknowledge the supremacy of God. When our former guest says this is a coup d'etat against God, that's what this is. We gotta fight. This is it, guys. It's do or die.
It's called depopulation of the Caucasian race, or the Anglo-Saxon. And that's what the goal is to depopulate the Anglo-Saxon race, because they are the ones with the strongest bloodline. If you want to flip the tide on this, join us in doing. Take 1 million people to Ottawa, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million people, and stand there and don't move until they make a change. We are not moving, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you right now, if there's a roadblock, we're running it. You're not stopping us. I have a record the size of my fucking arm. I am not a nice person. You have no idea what's coming. Rubber bullets and pepper spray or fuck all. Wait till the real bullets start flying.
Did you hear that? A coup d'etat against God. It's time to fight, everybody.
Trudeau, someone's gonna make you catch a bullet one day. To the rest of this government, someone's gonna fucking do yous in. You sons of bitches. And I'm gonna film it. Yeah, right? Cops will get shot. What about this? How many people are going to be out patrolling to rat on their fucking neighbors on Christmas? Those people need to be shot. To anybody out there who's going to go and say, hey, my neighbors have more than 5 people at their house during Christmas, you got to come and arrest them. That fucking neighbor's going to have their house burnt down.
And this is a coup d'etat against God and our country and the sovereignty of God in this land. And we have freaks that are now in power.
That fucking neighbor's gonna have their house burnt down.
Freaks that are now in power in our country, and it is time to take back Canada.
You have no idea what's coming. Rubber bullets and pepper spray or fuck all. Wait till the real bullets start flying.
Stop whatever you're doing. It's time to fight.
The only way that this is going to be solved is with bullets. And yeah, I said it. That's the only way something's going to happen.
Thank you, brother, for being here. Thank you for your beautiful words.
I have a record the size of my fucking arm. I am not a nice person. Trudeau, someone's going to make you catch a bullet one day. This is what is going to happen very soon. And if you come into my rural communities, I'm going to be this big guy in the white shirt. Ready? Watch what he does. Little slaps to the face. Those people need to be shot. That fucking neighbor's gonna have their house burnt down.
Thank you for your beautiful words, for your heart, for your love of Canada. Thank you for being a wonderful patriot.
A massive revolution on a huge scale. And I'm telling you right now, if there's a roadblock, we're running it. You're not stopping us. If I'm deemed already a domestic terrorist in my own country, well, guess what? I'm going to denounce my own country. To the rest of this government, someone's going to fucking do yous in. You sons of bitches.
Thank you for being a wonderful patriot in this nation. And I'm so blessed to know you, Pat. And I appreciate everything that you've said.
Unless you want to change your national language to Chinese or Mandarin or Hebrew. Or Hebrew. You might want to change your name to Ishmael. Or drop a bunch of change down the stairs and call yourself Chong Ching Ching Chang? Now, what it is the part of the depopulation. And a lot of people don't understand what that means. And what there is there's an end game. It's called depopulation of the Caucasian race, or the Anglo-Saxon. And that's what the goal is to depopulate the Anglo-Saxon race. Because they are the ones with the strongest bloodlines. And we'll leave it at that, because then we get into a whole different topic. But it's a depopulation of race. Okay, that's what they want to do. That's right, Al. I've seen the mosque up in Fort Mac. Ladies and gentlemen, we are being overrun. The Anglo-Saxon people of Canada are our God-given culture. The Anglo-Saxon and the Francophones. We are losing our culture to other ethnic religions. This is not racism. This is genocide of a culture. Every person who is born here in Canada, in North America, you are Indigenous. People don't realize that. If you were born of the land, you are Indigenous of the land. The natives' culture is a disgrace. It is, 100%. So now, I want to bring in some of the stuff that they've done. They've brought in, they're permitted into Canada. They've basically taken over the trucking industry. They've basically inundated Canadian citizens to join their religion. We cannot become Sikh. I'll just tell you that much. We cannot become Sikh. I'll just tell you that much. But at the same time, they look down on us. They control our construction. And when it comes to the trucking industry, we see incident after incident after incident.
What you're doing, I'll see you on the road, and I'll see you in Ottawa on January 29th.
And I'm telling you right now, if there's a roadblock, we're running it. You're not stopping us.
This is live. That is Pat King. How you doing?
This is Canadiana right here, especially Alberta, Western Canadiana.
100%.
And
Let's go,
from
Brandon!
growing up in Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
This is
Brandon!
absolutely, yeah, it's absolutely what I would expect from my hometown.
Now, is this... They're coming after all of us, you guys. They maybe just thought that we wouldn't be ready to fight when we needed to. But you're talking about Canadians. And you don't mess with Canadians. We eat back bacon. Okay? We eat back bacon. Okay?